అస్మద్గురుభ్యో నమ. ఆత్మదైవముల హయగ్రీవ రామచంద్రుల భక్తియుక్తినోదల ధరించి రామానుజాక్షా విరాజితులౌ తల్లిదండ్రుల హృదయ పద్మముని నిలిపి శ్రీకృష్ణమాచార్యు శ్రీ పార్థసారథిన్ మేనమామల సంప్రీతి గొలిచి ఉభయ వేదాంత సౌరభమిచ్చి దీవింతునామరంగంటి రంగార్యుదలచి స్ఫూర్తి సంధాత యశోదీపితున చిత్రగుణాదు పాండితి ప్రౌఢిమెచ్చి రాఘవుడనేను శుభనవారంభ నిపుణచరణ దాసుడ నుడివెద సరసమృతల వాక్సుదాధార సభ్యతాభావుకులకు సుకృత సంపద తలిప్ప మోదమలర. Saluting the fond memory of my teachers, Sri Apparao Garu, Sri Lakshmanarao Garu, Sri Pardhasarathi Acharya, and Sri Shastri Garu, and Sriman Ramanujacharya, and Sri Doraswami, who have given me the alms of pieces of literature in English. I switch over to the continuation of the topic regarding culture and tradition. Welcome to Temple Kiosk of Vedic Relics, TKVR, Alps RD. As I mentioned, culture is a particular process which was passed on to the latter generations from the earlier generations. How it is not going to be changed every time. Please remember that. The shirt, piece of shirt, or any piece of attire, or a pot, or a tumbler, or a wall, building, piece of furniture, all these things you are observing, but you do not know how they are designed. You will be knowing the person who is designing it, who is fabricating it, but you do not know how it is going to be done. So there will be some substance, some dravya earlier to that one, which is upadana karana. It will be undergoing so many changes, and finally it will be precipitated into a particular form which you can use for your convenience. Like that, our mode of living also will have the same shape and extent. That is called culture. The culture need not be exactly the same in every country, for every person, for every sect, for every region, like that. It will be changing from place to place also, culture. But don't say that this culture is great, this culture is something else. No, it is wrong. Human beings will have one kind of culture. Among human beings, depending upon the sects, they will be having different cultures. Similarly, all are human beings, depending upon the regions, depending upon the atmosphere they will be living in, the culture will be changing. It will be changing. So don't say that this is the greatest one, that is the least one. Don't say that one. I want to say Indian culture is deep rooted in society long ago. And from this one only, so many kinds of other branches have changed. The way of thinking, mode of living, etc., which are marked and directed by earlier generation people, which are precipitated in the form of a culture, and from the past generation to the latter generations, it will be passed on. Samyak kritam, which is well fabricated, well designed, that is called Sanskriti. That's all. The one which is well processed and programmed for the universal purpose. Of course, certain changes will be there, certain additions will be there, certain deletions will be there, certain adjustments will be there in one or two pieces. No problem. They may be taking place and ushered in due to the requirement of the society, the then society, for ease of living and other things also. That's all. At times, if it is required by the society, certain doctrines will be changed. It is not wrong. That I don't want to speak at length. If you say Manusmriti or some other one, certain principles which are mentioned in Manusmriti, we need not follow now. Manusmriti and such smritis are given depending upon the requirement in that particular era. But the quintessence is useful even today. That I will speak on some other context. Okay, right. Now I shall take the word Sampradaya. In brief, it is a tradition, we shall call it. The path treaded by a galaxy of and multitudinous of people of earlier generations. In Vedic philosophy, it is presented in a wider canvas. Whatever understanding we have for Sampradaya in vogue, it is not sufficient. In Vedic context and other relevant scribbles, you can get a wider canvas of this one. Especially, the word is amalgamation of four phrases, four particular syllables, four particular words actually, four different words having different meanings, of course slightly related also. They are amalgamated in a harmonious way. They are blended together to make up the phrase Sampradaya. The first one is so-called Aya. Ayam. Ayam means you will have different meanings. The area of a segment is all called Ayam, no doubt about it. But Ayam actually it is nothing but income. You observe income tax office in India, a Hindi name will be there, Ayakar Bhavan, they will say that one, income tax office. But Telugu people have changed the name, Ayakar Bhavan, they will say that. Like that some hybridization will be there always. So Ayakar Bhavan, Aya means it is only an income, fixed income, either daily income or weekly, fortnightly, monthly, yearly package, whatever it may be, that is called that amount, either money or in a different way, cash or kind, which is obtained by his services, by the person's services, and the person will earn as an amount, as a lump sum amount like that. And he is having every right on his own. For that amount, he need not distribute to anybody at all. He is the only person having every right to enjoy it, to squander it, to waste it, do whatever it is. Of course, depending upon the taxation principles of the government. That means conditions will apply. But nobody will say, why you are spending like this? Why can't you give me like that? You cannot. Ayam means it is only purely a personal amount which can be spent by him only as per his wish and whim, that's all. Nobody should question it. Of course, taxation, depending upon the earnings, government will say you have to pay the tax like this for some other purpose. That's a different issue. So, Ayam. So, second one is Dayamu. Dayamu means, yes, a person has earned money and he has accumulated a large property. He is having 2 sons, 4 sons, 5 children like that. By the end of his lifetime, he has to distribute the entire property among his children. Or sometimes this amount will be a combined property with some other party having the same surname, first name like that. So these people are called Dayalu relatives, related to these people. Dayamu means hereditary property that is to be distributed among those people having the same family name or family group, something like that. Of course, depending upon the social conditions and norms and other requirements, you can distribute it. That's all. Of course, again for this one, whether girls are given property or not, ladies are given property or not, whatever, that's a different issue that I don't want to talk now. Leave it. This is called Dayamu. And your wife, children, relations of the lineage, all those people, that hereditary property comes under this category is called Dayamu. Right. For that purpose only, Dharmaja and Duryodhana fought with each other, Pandavas and Kauravas, for Daya only. That will be Dayadulu, they will be calling. This Dayamu. Third one is an improvement of that one. Pradayamu. Whatever property is there, if you are distributing among your children, some person will do some business, some launch upon some business, and crores and crores. Some other fellow will go to jackpot, lose everything. Some other fellow will squander money, he will be a pauper later. Somebody like that. So the money or the property which is acquired by the relatives and people, they may see that it gives good results, yields much more amount, or it may be dwindled. That's all. But Dayamu is a particular thing. It will not be observed as a lump sum amount of rupees or property, something like that. It is something like the identity of the family, the honor of the family. To be more specific, according to Indian philosophy, Gotramu, Inti Peru, Uru Peru, like that. You know, those who are in abroad, some typical persons will be coming across, old people. Yes, you are from, you will say that from. Yo, you are from India. Oh, yo, so that's the land of Gandhi, land of Vivekananda. You are not related to Mahatma Gandhi. You are not related to Vivekananda. You are not related to some other Swamiji. You are not some. But that gentleman has remembered India as the place of so and so person. This is called Dayamu. Your surname. Suppose you say, what's your name? Nowadays it has become a fashion to give the first name in the end part of it. That is the system in North India due to Muslim period regiment. That's all. But your name should be in the beginning only. Somehow I don't want. Again, it is a different topic. Leave it. So you will say that one. Oh, your related, your friends are there in Gujarat. Your friend, name, observing the name, they will be identifying the land, origin, something like that. Or else your profession. Your profession also is coming under Daya, Dayamu, etc. Gotramu, profession, name, etc. For this one, a beautiful episode is there in Mahabharata in two instances. The content is the same, Dayamu. Observing this Dayamu, even if you pass on 5 generations later, you have come to 5th generation. Remembering this Dayamu only, people will be identifying your great-great-grandfathers also. This is called Dayamu. That means the particular property or significance or singularity or the title by which your identity is mentioned is called Dayamu. For that, a simple event in Mahabharata, I think, is Sabha Parva only. We'll come across. Arjuna was on pilgrimage. He is roaming about various centers. Some night, by evening time, he came over to Varanasi. And he has to leave within 3 hours because he was a guest to Varanasi. Guest means, in Sanskrit is called Atithi. Atithi means the person may enter any place in one particular date, Tithi. And before that Tithi is over, before that span of time is over, he has to leave the place. That's why he is named as Atithi. In 2 Tithis, he should not be consecutive Tithis, he should not be in that place. That is the name. But in Telugu they will be calling Tithi Vara Nakshatra Lakunda Vachevade Atithi. He will be having no sense at all like that. And Arabic proverb, they will say, guest and fish will be smelling filthy after 24 hours. A beautiful quotation. Arjuna came by 6:30 in the evening, and by 9 o'clock Tithi is changing. So he has to leave Varanasi and proceed to some other place. But he could not take bath in river Ganges. It is prohibited that you should not take bath during night time in a torrent or in a river. Again, this is a different story from Yajurveda and Tirupavai. Relevant illustrations are there. So it's a different story. We shall talk some time later. Don't worry. After all, I have no work at all. In college also, the syllabus will not be changing every year. In 1972, they have formed the syllabus. The same syllabus continues everywhere. So once we prepare for the classroom purpose, we need not prepare the classroom every time. The same syllabus will be there. So what is to be done in the college? What is to be at home? So at home as well as in the college, free time is there. I used to go through books only, that's all. That's the problem. That means that I am branded as bookworm also, my friends also. But I feel warm among books, that's the problem. Okay, Arjuna has to leave the place. But going to that place without having a dip in Ganges, how to go? And he stood on the bank of Ganges and smiled and addressed river Ganges. Oh, my great grandma, how do you do? You're okay? He addressed Ganges as great grandma. Ganges got wild. After all, she is a lady. According to Vedic philosophy, she will be always in the excellent age of 30 years only. Tridasha. That's why she got wild. Ladies will be getting wild if you are addressing them as older than you. Natural. Sorry, don't think otherwise. It happens. That's why in our Andhra Pradesh, people will be addressing each other lady as Udina, sister-in-law. There is no problem about age gauge in that one. Okay. Arjuna said it. Ganges, river Ganges, took the form of a lady, came out. What nonsense, who are you? You have come in the night time and addressing me, you are disturbing me. Who are you? Then Arjuna said, did you not identify? Oh my God, I am from your lineage only, madam. Your son is there. Okay, you might have forgotten him. You might have thrown him some nursery and later some other corporate college, some other like that. And he grown up. He has grown up as Bhishmacharya. Bhishmacharya, your son only, isn't it? I am his grandson. He is my grandfather. So naturally, you are my grand. Ganges felt so happy, knew no bounds for happiness. She said, oh, please come in. Then Arjuna said, no, we are human beings. We should not enter water after evening 7:30 because Rakshasas will be reigning, Yakshas will be reigning the arena of waters. So I am standing here. So Ganges herself overflowed and with great waves, he gave him bath and presented beautiful pearls and gems and other things and saw him off. This is called Gotra. Arjuna mentioned the lineage of his one to make his identity to the other person. This is the significance of Gotra. Another instance is there. Ghatotkacha followed as a bodyguard to Sahadeva to the southern side, vanquishing, waging war against those people who were against them. And like that he went to South India. Up to Cape Comorin, they went there. At the Cape Comorin, went to Sahadeva, uncle, I want to just have a stroll outside and come back. Sahadeva said, okay, carry on. For 3 or 4 days, Ghatotkacha did not return at all. It is getting delayed. Sahadeva has to come back. What happened to Ghatotkacha? He cannot have the Drishti, he cannot contact anybody. Meanwhile, after that, in the evening, Ghatotkacha came with beautiful suitcases, fantastic luggage, beautiful boxes, which is in our language, which will be weighing nearly 500 kgs each, 10 or 15. Ghatotkacha was asked, my boy, where did you go? I went to my another uncle's friend there. Who is another uncle? Bhima is my uncle, isn't it? Bhima's brother is there, elder brother. Yes, Dharmaja. No. His cousin brother is there. Who is that? Hanuman. Hanuman's friend is there. Vibhishana. I went over there. Sahadeva was surprised. When Ghatotkacha went to Sri Lanka, Vibhishana was ruling the country. And he identified Ghatotkacha and said, my boy, I have seen you somewhere. Some features are quite familiar to me. Oh, who are you? He smiled and said, no, sir, you do not know my origin, but you know the cousin of my father, sir. My father is Bhishmacharya, son of Vayu. His cousin brother Hanuman is there. Hanuman was there. Hanuman's cousin brother. Vibhishana felt so happy and asked him to stay back for 2 or 3 more days as his guest. And later he presented beautiful items, beautiful saris, clothing, etc., along with his presentations to Krishna, earlier who was Sri Rama. This is also explained in Mahabharata at length. Great scholars will speak on Mahabharata, not as these such simple events. They feel that they are silly events. Because I am a simpleton, I refer those things. Similarly, Daya, the tradition Daya, is explained by Kalidasa in Raghuvamsha. Specially, please refer the stanzas when Rama was returning from Lanka to Ayodhya When I came across Sharabhanga Muni's ashram hermitage, there are two stanzas in Raghuvamsha. Please go through them. You will identify that is called Dayamu. So, Dayamu is the one which is to be distributed, and of course, it is not distributed whether you like it or not, whether you accept Gotra or not. Somebody will be saying, I do not know Gotra, sir, but they will be saying Ramanuja Gotra, something like that. Don't think that Gotras have no meaning at all. Many people think that his Gotram is Rishi Gotram, but we are having Ravipalla Gotramu or Suparnasa Gotramu or some Paidipala Gotramu like that. These also are given according to the profession, according to the village, according to the lineage, etc. Paidipala Gotram in Telugu. Paidipala means milk supplied in golden tumbler. Their ancestors might have offered milk every day to the Lord presiding over the temple in golden pot. They are called Paidipala Gotram. Similarly, Kandadai is there. Gandha Adai, Tamil word. A particular family used to offer sandalwood paste and beautiful clothes to the Lord every occasion. Gandha Adai. Gandha means sandalwood, perfume, and Adai means vastram. Gandha. That's how it become Kandadai. Like that Gotra. Sorry, I am deviating from the track. Just like my friend on TV, usually when he speaks for half an hour, for 20 minutes he will be sidetrack only, but the great popular scholar. No problem, nothing great, nothing inferior about him. He's a great man, he's my friend. So, Pradayamu is the one, the particular property, particular significance or honor shared by people. It will not be deteriorated any time. It will be continued and it will be multiplied also from time to time. Maudgalyasa Gotramu is there. Mudgala Maharshi. Many people cannot understand what is that problem. Mudgala. His name is something else, but he is called Mudgala. Mudam Galati. Whenever he thinks of Lord, automatically he will be thrown to summits of exaltation in bliss and ecstasy, and showers of tears of happiness will be rolling through, and he will say that these are tears of devotion, happiness. Mudgala, Mudam Galati. Happiness will have the form of a torrent and it is coming through the channels of my eyes. He used to say, Mudgalasya Gotramu. Similarly, so that is called Dayamu. Now, Dayamu, Pradayamu over Sampradayamu or Sampradayamu. The concept which is unique, which shall be transmitted from hundreds and hundreds and hundred generations, even till today generation, since time immemorial, rich to the latter, reaching the latter and preaching the latter, comprising rules, doctrines, customs, conventions, systems, and practical actions in a particular systematic form. This is called Sampradayamu, tradition. I struggle to explain with so many words, but one of my gurus, not straight guru, but I consider him as guru, and I had the chance to contact him 2 or 3 months, every 3 months for 7 or 8 years. He is a great man, a Telugu writer, he is a cine writer also, he is a awardee of Jatiya Academy, and Dr. C. Narayana Reddy. In one of his free verses, he wrote few lines about Sampradayam. Anta kadivedu palalona okinta meegada peerinatlu migulu gatamulopali manchi adiya Sampradayam. Enough. You take a tumbler of milk, not tumbler, a pot of milk with 20 to 30 liters of milk. Right. Boil it. When you are boiling, after boiling you observe cream is formed as a layer on the top. If you remove the cream and enjoy the milk, no problem, you will have. From that milk, you cannot get the curd which is tasty. Even if that curd is called toned milk and non-toned milk, something like that, they will be saying, okay, leave it. You may get curd, but from that one you cannot get the butter at all. Even if some amount is there, from that ghee you cannot squeeze at all. If the cream is allowed to stay back, and if you are turning that one as butter, as a curd, and churn it, and ghee will be there, and from that one you will get butter and ghee like that. That's why the creamy layer is called Sampradayamu. Anta kadivedu palalona, the layer of the cream, the quintessence of the total amount of milk, like that. The total quintessence of a lifestyle of past generations, the best, the purest, and the blessed, like the cream of the milk, is known as a tradition. To extend this one, we have to refer Mahabharata, Shanti Parva, and other Parvas, and you will be getting many other glimpses. This is called Sampradaya. Okay, my dear friend, shall I give you a simple example? Blank verses are there in English literature. But please check up. Even they are called blank verses, they are not having meters, they are having a particular meter. Similarly, Ogden Nash is a writer, Antyanuprasa, ending rhymes will be there. And similarly in sonnets, 14 lines will be there. Why? Shakespeare and all those people can write in their own way, but they followed it. Similarly, in Telugu and other literature. A small example I shall give you, don't think otherwise. Starting from Sri Sri, everybody said, we shall break the backbone of the Chandas and all those things. We shall write free verses. Guradad Apparao Garu has written Mutyala Saralu. Please, my dear friend, Mutyala Saralu with a different name, it is the Chandas in Rigveda. In Rigveda and other Vedas, nearly 350 Chandas types of meters are mentioned. They are changed. Telugu people have adopted Yati Prasa from Tamil literature, again from that one only. Sri Sri Maro Prapancham Pilichindi. But Sankaracharya Bhajagovindam Bhajamudamate. Both meters are not the same. My dear friend, please remember, you may say that I will not follow tradition at all. I will not follow Sampradaya at all. I want to do something. But everywhere, without your knowledge, you will be following Sampradaya only. For example, I shall give a simple word, staff. If you refer the dictionary, what is the meaning of staff? Hand stick. But you are calling your members working in your office, working under your session, your team members, you are calling as staff. Why that name is given? You have to go to the past generations. When kings were there, zamindars were there, sultans were there, each person is provided one kind of staff, hand stick. Earlier police people used to have one hand stick, sub-inspectors, those people, 1 foot or 1.5 foot length, a particular one. Similarly, Maharaja, king will have one staff. A minister, he will have one. Purohit, he will have one kind. Or commander-in-chief, he will have another one like that. Suppose the king is conducting a meeting, these people will come. Just like in police department also, with revolvers, all those things, they will not enter. They are not. They are to be deposited in outside. On some almirah, they will keep them. Similarly, when the king is convening a meeting, these different people of different categories will assemble in the assembly hall, leaving their hand sticks outside in a particular stand along with footwear. And the gatekeeper will come, all staff has come. That's why staff is symbolic. The same thing we are using now here. You are observing. Tradition, if you want to drop it, it will not leave you. That's why in one of Hindi poems, Kabir or Rahim, I do not remember correctly, one sparrow felt that, why I should travel by the boat? The boat is going very slowly. I shall fly very quickly. It just left the boat, left the rigging of the boat and went into the sky. For 5 minutes only, it could fly. Finally, again it dropped down in the boat only. I had to take boat only for safety's sake. This is called tradition, sampradaya. Sampradaya is not mentioned for Indians only. In every country, sampradaya is there. That's why the proverb, be a Roman in Rome. What is the meaning of it? That means depending upon the country, depending upon the country tradition, whatever is there, you have to follow that one. In India, you are having right hand driving. In foreign countries, you will have left hand driving. You may say that India, I am accustomed to this one, I drive like this only. What happens? I think you know it. I need not explain. Like this, plenty of examples I can give you. So tradition, it has such a deeper meaning. So tradition is the aspect which makes you identify what is the nature, what is the style of life which you have to lead. Please remember, don't sling mud and dung at the so-called sampradaya. Definitely, sampradaya may have some blasphemies. Sampradaya may have some other difficulty. I know it. We shall check it. How to check it? That in the next episode we shall talk about. Thank you very much. See you.